What's up, guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103, and welcome to another episode of the Blaugrana Faithful Discussion, where we have today the dynamic duo of Barca Boy and Blaugrana Planet returning. How are you doing today?
Oh, very well. Thank you. It's a pleasure to be back in Barca Boys channel, man. Great channel. And yeah, looking forward to the great discussion that we can have about the situation of the club right now.
Of course, there's a lot of topics since Xavi announced his resignation. They're getting rumors every other day about a billion things, but today we're going to focus on three topics, which is the future of the Barcelona coaching position and two key players in the summer. Now, everything's kind of taking a turn now since Mbappe is going to go to Real Madrid, which push even more pressure now on Laporta and Deco to perform this summer. But let's get into it. Now, before we talk about who's going to come in to replace Xavi, I do want to know your thoughts on Xavi's departure. Where did you stand on it? Were you kind of questioning Xavi a little bit? Were you always thinking that Xavi was going to leave, or were you always backing the manager?
Well, I think there's a lot of pressure from the surroundings of the club. Of course, Barca has always been a top level club, and there's the press, there's the fans, there's local and international fans. Barcelona has a big fan base. We know because we experience and we communicate to this international fan base, especially. And being the coach of Barcelona is not easy. Being a player is different because you're somewhat protected. They're in fact very protected, I would say, very protected. But the coach, no way, man. He takes all the beatings. He takes all the beatings, and I think it was a little too early for Xavi. I must say, um, but the thing was that everybody wanted Xavi, right?
We
So
were
to
doing
replace
videos talking about we us wanting Xavi.
exactly. So everybody wanted Xavi, and even Victor Font was proposing Xavi, and at the end of the day, Laporta proposed Xavi. Um, I think we wasted the bullet a bit too early. Xavi will probably go on to be a great coach, an amazing coach. He's a great coach already. Don't get me wrong, but coming from Qatar, coaching in Qatar, jumping straight to Barcelona, and Barcelona in a difficult situation, too early, too difficult of a challenge, in my opinion. And it's a bullet, that we can pick up again and reload our gun later on. Don't
I
get
was
me
just about
wrong.
to I was just about to ask you that. Do you think that Xavi we can see him again as the manager in the future? Because a lot of successful managers at Barcelona don't tend to come back because they kind of say like, "Oh, I've been there, done it. I don't want to ruin my reputation." Like even all these rumors I think about Luis Enrique, I think it's like a wide of the mark. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would come back after what he suffered as well and being, of course, way more successful than Xavi with the system that he had. But do you think there's a good chance that Xavi can come back in the future? He said that he'd be very much open to it.
I'm for sure. I for sure think that we're gonna have another chance of getting Xavi in the
Remontada?
future. Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see. I can't read the future, and God knows what's gonna happen in the future. But I think that we're gonna have the opportunity. At least this is the idea of Xavi. He's a young coach. What he is 41, 42, 43 years old. He has a whole career. He has 20 years of coaching in front of him, and give him maybe what 6 7 years. I'll give Barcelona two more coaches until we maybe get back Xavi, and a more experienced Xavi. I advise Xavi to coach in a European league, maybe go out of La Liga, maybe go to the Italian league, to the German league. You know, he's
Premier
gonna
League, maybe?
Premier League, maybe it's a little early for him. Premier League, I would advise him to go to German league or Italian league now for 2 3 years,
Hmm.
and then get another team, high level team. I will give him some like Roma team. Rome.
So
Uh,
thinking that like in the Premier League, like a Newcastle, Brighton, Aston Villa, like that kind of medium level side, not
yeah,
really
it's
like
just
that
like
top six.
Europa League,
Yeah.
Conference League, kind of like almost sneaking into Champions League. But don't give him like super big team like Inter de Milan or something like this because it's
Hmm.
gonna be too much of a challenge. Let him work in the mud. Let him work in the mud a bit, and then eventually he can come back, but with experience from here, from there, having worked in the mud, etc. And eventually we can think about it. And of course, careful. Pep Guardiola is ending his contract in a year with Man City. I don't
I
know what's
think
going to happen in the
I
future,
think
but
with Pep it's the same. I think Pep would only come back if it's in a different position, not the manager. I think his legacy at Barcelona is so big that if he comes back, the expectations, the level that we're gonna think we're gonna be at, I think also would help to go back quickly on Xavi. What helped, what what suffered with him a little bit was also how the state of the club was financially. I know we're improving, but when he first came, we were Adama, Luke De Jongs, and Aubameyang loan deals. And even the past summer, we only spent 3 million on Romeo and got Jules and Ilkay Gundogan for free. I think hopefully in like that 6 to 7 year period that you mentioned, he comes back to a 2016 Barcelona where we can do stuff if we want to do it, and we're going to be healthy, financially.
yeah, recovered team in terms of finances, a new stadium, and a new team for certainly new team, new players, no sloppy Lewandowski, and etc. etc. But anyways, my thoughts my thoughts on Xavi is the fact that it was a little too early. There's too much pressure on the club, but I have to thank the guy. Thank Xavi because he came in a difficult situation. He knew what was going on. He knew there was no money. He took the challenge despite that, and he risked his reputation.
I don't I don't think his reputation was hindered by this at all. I think it's only been a poor last 3 months. That
Yeah,
first 6 months magical. Last season overall success besides the Europe campaign, La Liga success, Super Cup success, Copa. We lost semifinals at home in the last 45 minutes. We were 45 minutes away from the final. And even the start of this season, I would say, was overall good. There was a lot of momentum, happiness. 5-0 Antwerp, 5-0 Betis, winning games. But I don't think this hinders his reputation whatsoever.
no, no.
I think a lot of the Kool-Aids will really respect him, will have a
Yeah,
high regard for him. I think, like you mentioned, there is no manager position that's as difficult as Barcelona. I think Madrid a little bit, especially if you don't get the result. I think with Madrid, as long as you win, even if you play crap, you'll survive. But if you don't win, lost, draw, that's when they kill you. But Barcelona, they kill you even if you win 5-0. Remember when we were winning 5-0, people were asking, oh, does the system work? Did we really dominate the games? All your Mundo Deportivos and sports and all this stuff. We're
yeah.
all saying this. So at Barcelona, it's just different. And the only thing that I'm disappointed about Xavi, I actually want to get your thoughts about this, is what he said after his resignation. The past few press conferences saying Barcelona is the most difficult job. I talked to other coaches, like even the Osasuna coach who was speaking to him, and he said that the Osasuna coach, he loves his job, and Xavi says I don't really have fun with my job. It's hell. I think that's the only thing I didn't like about Xavi's announcement, because he's putting that even more pressure on the next manager. So let's say for the next manager, it's going to be Pep. First headline will be, can Pep handle the pressure of Barcelona, of the media, the fans? So what are
Oh
your thoughts
no,
on Xavi putting that pressure on the next manager, and his thoughts as well about not doing the job like it's hell, and it takes a lot out of you?
of course he's not doing it on purpose.
Yeah, yeah,
He's very tired. That's what I can see. Very, very tired from the press. There's so many press conferences going on and on and on. The press is always asking, like, they're always negative, But because, as you said, Barcelona, even if we win, it's like they're asking, oh, but how did we win? Did this style of game work, etc.? We need to win, and we need to do an exhibition every time, right?
mm-hmm.
But so what I like about Xavi is that he took the beating for so long, but unfortunately he got tired too quickly, and it was a little bit early for him. So of course it's not going to hinder his reputation, because it's a reputation that he's worked on for what, a decade and a half in Barcelona, and this is just going to be something in the past, and in the future maybe we can get a sweeter taste, than rather than this bitter taste that we're having right now with this bad end of the season. But remember, we pulled the palancas, we pulled the levers, etc., etc. And yet this season, which was supposed to be better than last season, it's the opposite. We're going down the drain.
Mm-hmm.
But anyways, those are my 2 cents of Xavi.
Now let's talk about the replacements, because this is the thing about Barcelona, right? So when Xavi announced that he's going to resign, the front cover of Mundo Deportivo next day, the candidates, here's like 20 names that we're looking at, and I think Xavi, wins that battle for sure. But we now 2 weeks, 3 weeks has passed. I think we have a good idea of who the top 3 names are going to be, and I think it's going to be one of these 3 managers, in Roberto De Zerbi, Hansi Flick or Thomas Tuchel. I think we've heard, Luis Enrique, but I think, again, my opinion is that I don't think he would come back, and I don't think PSG are going to sack him this season, especially because they always give their manager 2 tries. Even Pochettino, they give him 2 tries. Unai Emery, they give him 2 tries. Thomas Tuchel, they give him 2 tries. So I don't think Enrique will be an option. Xabi Alonso is very much a situation as Xavi, where he's young, Spanish, he's doing well, but then making that big step. Why not go to like a Roma, like you said, or somewhere like a lower side?
Well, he's with Leverkusen now. I mean, he's at that level now.
Yes, but when he joined Leverkusen, they weren't. He's the one who brought them up to that level, and it's still.
But he proved himself. He proved himself. He got a mid-tier team and got into the top.
Yeah. Even beforehand, he was working, I think, with the Sociedad B team.
Yeah.
And then we heard, Mikel Arteta, but he's doing well at Arsenal, getting him out of it. So I think I would honestly say I could probably guarantee it at this point that the next coach will be a German. I think it's now between Hansi Flick and Tuchel. And I'm kind of disappointed that Bayern Munich do have a lot of a say in it, because if they sack Tuchel, they probably will go for Hansi Flick, and then we're going to be stuck with Tuchel. And then if they don't, they say with Tuchel, I think we'll go with Hansi Flick. I think De Zerbi, my only problem with De Zerbi is paying to get him. I think us paying the compensation fee of, I think, 30 million euros to Brighton for the manager, for me, that is
not the most
happen. That is the most super. Yeah, 100%.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah.
In my honest opinion, I take De Zerbi, I take Flick. Tuchel, it's an option. We'll see. It depends if he resigns. Let's understand that Barcelona is bankrupt. Spending money on a coach is a challenge. So maybe De Zerbi can be last in the list. I would have Flick because it's for free. He has no team. And in my opinion, it's Michel from Girona. Because there's many reasons. First, earning little. He's not a Jurgen Klopp. He's not Tuchel. He's not gonna ask for 20 million a year. He's gonna be all right with a small amount of money. Upcoming coach, he's proven himself with 3 teams in La Liga, lower tier teams, and he's got them to mid level or even top of La Liga with Girona. And his style of play fits perfectly with Barcelona. To me, Michel, I would consider the guy, because it's going to be easy to get him. Plus, Girona is it's a brother team.
Yeah.
It's a brother team. You know what I mean?
With Mikel, the only issue is that, again, making that big jump for me from Girona, where the expectations, he brought them up, and then having that pressure to Barcelona. I also think that Mikel himself in a press conference 2 days ago confirmed that he was going to stay, that there is no chance of him leaving. But if maybe Barcelona
what is he going to say? He's coaching right now Girona. He's challenging for the title. No, he's going to say, "Oh no, yeah, I'm considering Barcelona's offer." They fired the guy right away. No,
the
guy has to be. He said what he had to say, man. When if an offer of Barcelona arrives, this guy, no doubt, is gonna accept it.
Same with the captain, Alex Garcia. It's going to be the same situation.
Of course, I have zero doubt. Of course, this guy is right now going to say, "I'm going to stay with Girona." Blah blah blah. Of course. Of course.
There's some people in the chat mentioning Julian Nagelsmann. I think Nagelsmann would have been the best option. But the issue with him is that he's going into the Euros with Germany. So unless we can do a Koeman and convince him to leave Germany,
it's not gonna happen.
So late, it's
not gonna happen. Just the Euros are around the corner. So
with Koeman, I think there was still a year before the Euros, maybe a year and a half when he left. But now we're
that's
too close.
But it's the Euros are this summer.
Mm-hmm.
So how is Nagelsmann is not gonna drop the German team now? He's not. So forget about Nagelsmann. Hansi Flick, on the other hand, a lot of people are saying, "Oh, Hansi Flick, the only option. Hansi Flick, blah blah blah." Hansi Flick, to me, 1 season wonder guy. 1 season wonder. The rest of his career has been an assistant manager.
1 season in COVID, by the way, that has to be taken.
And 1 season in COVID, I said it in my channel many times. This is 1 season wonder in COVID with a team that was very well built by Pep Guardiola, eventually by Niko Kovac, etc. Okay, but it was a weird year. But the rest of his coaching career has been assistant manager and Hoffenheim's manager in the day.
Germany lost in the World Cup group stage and Euro, I think, round 16 only.
And the last experiences that he had, he completely failed. Not only that, is that he barely speaks any English. Of course, Spanish, you can forget about Spanish. They say There was some news coming out today. He's
He's
learning Spanish.
learning
He's
Spanish.
learning Spanish. Oh yeah, but man, this guy has 4 or 5 months to learn fluent Spanish if he wants to learn.
You know what? By the way, Lewandowski, I must say, learned Spanish very, very quickly. He was, I think, when he came, he had, of course, when he was at the Camp Nou doing his presentation, he knew no Spanish, like Bona tarda, Visca Barca, and that's it. But I tell you what, he's doing like proper interviews now in Spanish. I've been very, very impressed because it's so hard to learn a language. Even like for me, if I try to learn Spanish, I know maybe a little bit here and there, but it's so hard to pick up. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but yeah, in 4 months he's gonna know next to nothing in
Yeah,
Spanish.
we'll see. Maybe, I mean, right now, what is sure is that nobody has offered anybody the job
100%,
right now.
yeah.
Okay, it's just like we're considering, we're looking at possibilities. Maybe there were rumors saying that the club has told Flick that he's in the short list. Okay, that's great. Okay, he can start learning Spanish. He signed by the agency of Pini Zahavi, which is close to Mendes and eventually close to Laporta. You know, there are little signs of Hansi Flick potentially being the chosen one, but certainly he's in the short list, and I would say it's just so early to choose right now, and let alone signings. You know, we cannot start thinking about signings or do any signings without having figured out who the coach is going to be, because I guess the coach is going to have to have a say on the signings, no? If it's going to be his team. But anyway.
It's different in Barcelona, right? Because it's going to be Deca who signs the players and whether or not he communicates with the manager what he wants. Because we saw with Xavi as well. Xavi got a lot of plan Bs signings. They get a lot of plan As when we activated all the palancas in the first summer. Yeah. But it is going to come down mainly to sporting management. But I do want to ask you 2 more questions about the manager before we move on. Firstly, there's a comment here, someone bringing it up. I don't want to bring up his picture because it was Bartomeu. I don't like his face. But there's the option of a lot of people that mentioned is Garcia Pimienta. Now, you brought up Michel. I think it's on the same kind of level. What are your thoughts on Pimienta? Because I have very strong feelings about Pimienta.
Can be on the same level. You know, Garcia Pimienta, first of all, was sacked by Laporta. Due to not being in the environment of Laporta. We don't know exactly why.
Thank you. Someone finally who understands it.
He was sacked by Laporta. First of all, with this fact, you know.
So I get into so many arguments with people. They're like, "Oh, he sacked him because he wasn't good enough." I said, "No, he sacked him because he wants someone as a Barca Athletic coach that is close to him."
Exactly.
That's why he has Rafa Marquez now. It's all about the environment, because the main goal for Barca Athletic is not promotion, not to play good football, but it's to benefit the first team. That's Laporta's mindset. Maybe Victor Font wants Barcelona to be in the second division and play beautiful football, but that's not how Laporta thinks. He didn't know Pimienta. Thanks for your work. You did a great job, but I want someone that I can trust. And that's the reason behind it.
Yeah. And probably they had some meetings, I assume, Laporta and Pimienta, just to get to know each other. Or maybe Laporta already had an idea of getting rid of Pimienta and getting somebody of his environment. You know, Rafa Marquez was the one. But Rafa Marquez, the first season, he couldn't come.
Sergio Barjuan came in.
Exactly. Sergio Barjuan came in, and people were like, "What the fuck's going on?" Like you had Pimienta, you have Barjuan, who is worst. But now we understand, right? It was Rafa Marquez supposed to be there. But anyways, not Pimienta, first of all, because you can't put the guy on the first team. I don't think the guy has any experience, enough experience to coach, to manage a team like Barcelona. Michel is different. Michel is different because this guy crafted himself as a coach, and he already coached 3 first division teams. And 3 of them, he got them in a good position in their environment, you know, Rayo Vallecano, Huesca, and now Girona, right? So he did a good job with 3 first division teams. Pimienta, now he's coaching Las Palmas, the first division team that he coaches ever. So, you know, imagine playing Barcelona at the semifinals of the Champions League. This guy's going to shit his pants.
Very much so. I'm very big on the new coach having a lot of experience. That's why with Mikel, for me, I think he's a good coach, 100%, but
it's risky.
Yeah, I think we've done all the risk. You know, Coleman, that was a risk. Setien was a risk. Xavi, a little bit was a risk, but all the fans were behind him because, you know, Xavi is Xavi. Yeah. I want someone now with experience. That's why I think out of Flick and Tuchel, I would favor Tuchel a little bit because he's just been a bit more active and he has
been a first team coach, you know, and you know, people are pointing towards his failures a lot, but he had a lot of success too in very good elite teams. top 5 league, and some of the best clubs in the world, Bayern Munich, PSG, etc., Dortmund. Hansi Flick, I think could work well in regards of different style of play, German, attacking, strong, but it's just not the mentality of Barcelona. Instead, Tuchel plays somewhat of that kind of game, similar to what Barcelona would like, and the Derby too. But the Derby, we got to pay money for him.
Yeah,
Forget it. And
that's so
Tuchel,
stupid.
yeah, that's not going to happen. Believe me, it's not going to happen. People are going to go to Mikel because the Derby is as risky as Michel. And Michel is going to be way cheaper. He speaks Spanish. He's been training in La Liga. Man, forget about the Derby. To me, it's not an option.
I think it's not an option either.
It's
I
not
think
an
it's all
option.
just him and Ado having the same age is just a coincidence. I think
it is, of course.
It would be. I think that if Laporta paid 30 million for De Zerbi, we should call elections immediately. I think it is that much of a catastrophic decision. When you need to put that money and investment into your squad and you're spending it, I would say, let's say half your budget on a manager is crazy to me.
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen for sure. And Tuchel, we need, in Spanish we say a carambola. It's like this guy needs to get sacked or he needs to resign in order for us to get him for free.
Yeah. There's no way we'd pay for him. I think the only way he becomes an option is if he quits Bayern or Bayern sack him. That's the only way we're gonna get him. But Tuchel does know Spanish, so that does give him, the edge over Hansi Flick.
That's why I say here Michel fits, because I would replace honestly the Derby with Michel, because if Michel is going to be way cheaper for sure, and he's going to get an offer half the money that the Derby would accept, and he's going to come here running. But of course, as risky as the Derby,
Yeah,
and Flick as well. They're all risky, man. What the fuck? Barcelona is in shambles right now, man.
The only one who's not a risk would be Pep or Klopp.
Exactly. No, Pep Guardiola club is almost certain guarantee that you're going to win a bunch of titles.
Now, finally, quickly on the manager, last question. When do you think is the best time to not make it official from the club, but official in the media? What do you think is the best time that, we know who will be the next manager?
Gotta be... Of course, by the end of the season, but
of course,
it can be a few weeks before the end of the season. It can get leaked, and we'll see. Laporta is not the guy with the biggest plans. He's not the one planning things carefully. Sometimes he's a little bit quick, or the press, or let me tell you, I think the press doesn't get the leak ASAP. Therefore, they say, "Oh, Laporta has been improvising, but maybe there was a plan behind." Mm-hmm. We never know, because the press, at the end of the day, they're just getting information from here, from there, and then they make up assumptions and they release them as news. But no, sometimes it's assumption, hypothesis they're creating from leaks, from things that other people are telling them, which have not been verified. Reason why sometimes you see Gerard Romero's fucking up and apologizing, etc., because at the end of the day, they have to trust the people that is giving them the leaks, but they're not reliable 100%. They're not. And for example, information related to contracts are private, man. People are making up a lot of things in regards to contracts.
We'll get on to contracts, but I think for me, I agree. I think by June the 1st it has to be official, but depending on how the season ends, how far we go in the Champions League, and how we get second place in La Liga, I wouldn't mind knowing it around like May time. That way you have like a month to, plan your targets for the summer. Xavi knows, the player knows who's coming in, so that will help as well. And Xavi will get asked all the questions in the media, what advice you'd give to this manager and stuff like that. But of course, I think by June the 1st, the manager should be coming in. But I'm glad we're on the same page with the manager. I think everyone pretty much is on the same page as well. But let's now discuss two big topics that hopefully will be resolved before the new manager coming in. And that is, of course, keeping two big players. Now, we'll talk about the first one. Frenkie de Jong. I think we've done you and I have done like a billion videos and streams on Frenkie de Jong and his future. I don't know if your opinion has changed on Frenkie, but of course there is a renewal offer on the table. He's not answered yet to Barcelona. But what is your stance on Frenkie's, wages, fee, his future at Barcelona?
It makes sense he doesn't answer to this renewal, because he's gonna lose money with this renewal. Barcelona want to extend his contract and just want to give him a lower salary. Right now, Frenkie de Jong is next season. He's going to be earning a loyalty bonus plus deferred salary from the years of the pandemic. Where they were deferring the salary, etc. So, of course,
it's all deferred. It's not his natural salary. It's all deferred.
It's all deferred. Plus, he had the Bartomeu contract, which had these loyalty bonuses, and plus the referred amounts. Now they create these incredible salaries this season and next season for Frenkie de Jong. It's normal that Barcelona tries to ask him to, okay, let's sign a new deal, and eventually we're going to keep you for longer, but for lower amounts each year, or potential transfer. This is what's going on right now. If I'm Laporta, I would obviously consider these options, but the main priority is to keep the player. If he doesn't accept, then man, you get to accept it and you get to eat it. It's the way it is. It's the contract that a president of Barcelona, Bartomeu, signed in his moment, and it's signed. It's not his fault. But of course, there's a lot of pressure from the media. There's a lot of pressure from the fan base. There's going to be pressure from the board of directors towards the player and his agent, because the situation is what it is. The economics are disasters, and this player is earning tremendous amounts of money. Of course, deferred, etc. Yes, but loyalty bonuses of 9 million euros, etc. According to the rumors, because as I said, the contracts are private, but I know that Bartomeu used to do this kind of loyalty bonuses, because the players actually hated the guy, kind of thing. So the only way for the players to stay in Barcelona motivated was giving them crazy bonuses, right? But anyways, it's not his fault.
100% not. Yeah,
he's going to suffer the consequences. But anyways, I wanted to say,
let's say, I would say, hopefully, God forbid, that he wants to leave, because I think Frenkie de Jong is one of the best midfielders in the world. If you think about it, really, he walks into every single team in the world: Manchester City, Bayern, United, Chelsea, Arsenal, whoever, he'd walk in and start. But let's say he does not want to renew his contract, and of course, if he does not renew, then you have to sell him. What would be the price that you would set at? Because I think the fair price for him would be around 80. So you will make a bit of money from his transfer.
Starting price 150 million.
But he has 2 years left on his deal.
Doesn't matter, man. Starting price. No. He's gonna renew. He's gonna renew.
I hope so.
He's gonna renew. But he's not gonna renew with this deal, and he's not gonna renew now. He'll renew later on, man. Let the guy be. He's renewing during the summer or next season. He'll renew 100%. The guy wants to stay. The only thing is he's not going to renew now with the shitty deal that Laporta gave him to fix the numbers. Barcelona is struggling, man. Think that we went to the stadium in Estadio Olímpic, which has less capacity, and no socios are going there. We're relying on the tourists to go there. Reason why, when you go to the stadium or you hear the fans, man, the other day we were drawing 3-3 against Almeria, and if that was Camp Nou, everybody will be shouting, whoa, 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 because the socios are there, because we are there. I'm not even going to the stadium. It's so far away from my house. It's on the top of a mountain, man.
Yeah.
It takes me an hour to go there. Instead,
it's an hour from you?
Yeah, and I'm in Barcelona, and I'm in the city.
Yeah.
But the city is big, But this is like in the corner of Barcelona, in the top of a mountain, and I'm telling you, it's a stadium built to hold Olympic games, to build the Olympics. The trailing thing, So the seats, they're not like in an egg shape.
It's so far. I've seen some clips of fans in the stands, like from the Golden Nord. It's so far. Oh my god! I think there's like another pitch in front of them to get to the actual.
But not
pitch.
only that, is that the seats, they're in straight lines, so it's like a block. So the seats are in straight lines. So imagine you're in the corner, and the pitch is in the middle, but you're in the corner. So when looking right in front, you're not looking at the game. You gotta twist your head like this for 90 minutes. Not 90 minutes. It was the extra time, whatever, half time. Bro, you're gonna have like neck pain. And I went there. I had this neck pain. It's not a stadium built for a football game. It's not. It's built for the Olympic Games. Okay, so yeah. anyways, it's
I
shitty
would
stadium. Nobody's going there. The highest attendance is 45,000 people. Now
Classico
we had to cut some areas because the seatings, the views,
was
the
so
view
bad.
from
Now
the
it
seat
would,
was sucked.
yeah.
Sucked. So now it's the maximum is what 43,000 people. We're really not getting any ticketing money from this,
Hmm.
and getting nothing, right? And the numbers are not matching from the budget that we had expected.
Yeah.
So the situation is Barcelona is struggling. Of course, we're gonna put pressure on Frenkie de Jong. Of course, but if he doesn't accept it, then whatever, he'll
I,
renew later on.
I think the only fear with Frankie is that when he has now 2 years left on his deal, it is the player who is in control and not the club. So there is, I mean, one more season and he will be able to walk away for free in a year. So I think that's the fear of Barcelona. So that's why when you say 150 million, I think it's, a bit higher than his normal
Yeah,
price.
but no, but
I
I'm just thinking. Yeah, but the you're
Because
thinking
remember when
about.
he was linked with United 2 summers ago,
Yeah,
we wanted 100 million plus 10, 20. That would have been, a good price. So now we're 2 years later. I'd say for the club to accept that, I would be, as a fan, if he does not want to stay, happy with, would be 80, 90 plus
nah, but he's
like a
gonna
100
want to
million
stay. He's
package.
gonna want to stay.
Hopefully, man. I
It's
think he does want to stay. I hate
yeah,
that. I'm scared that all the noise is gonna push him out. Like, not so much a Xavi situation, but everyone, and I mean
players are protected.
everyone,
Players are protected.
everyone's talking about it. Like, I've not
Nah,
seen
don't worry,
one
don't worry.
person.
Not that many people are talking about it. I mean, these players are protected, man. They know what's up. They
Mhm.
believe me. This guy looks at his bank account and he'll forget about everything very quickly.
Let's hope that's the case, but we'll see how things turn out. And the final player who's in, I think, a very similar situation as well is on Ronald Araujo. Now, I do have some friends close to Araujo's brother,
Ah,
and they've been telling me that Araujo's in a situation where the project isn't that what's presented to him when he renewed a year ago isn't really coming to life. There's glimmers and bits of it, but it's not really there. And if Bayern Munich are there, they win the title every single year. They're giving him double, triple amount of money, and they're willing to give Barcelona 100 million for him tomorrow. It puts the pressure on the player. Now I know Araujo loves the club, kisses the badge, captain. Apparently has a very good relationship with Carlos Puyol as well. With Mbappe coming to Real Madrid, I think if we lose Araujo, we are screwed because he is the best 1v1 defender in the world. Again, the only issue with Araujo is his ability on the ball. His passing has improved since the time of Coleman, when Coleman always attacked him in the media saying his passing isn't great. It's definitely improved since then, but it's still not at the level, I would say, of Christensen, Kunde, and I think even Kubarsi. I honestly think that Kubarsi is one of the best on the ball defenders as well. I don't think Araujo is at that level, but again, he wasn't growing up in La Masia. But what are your thoughts on Araujo? Do you think there is a chance that Bayern Munich come with a big offer? We need to sell players that might tempt Barcelona. Of course, we are talking with him about a renewal. We had a meeting with his agent yesterday. But what are your thoughts on his situation?
I mean, Araujo is not the problem. Araujo is not the problem. Of course, Kubarsi is way better on the ball than him for sure. But on the cut, this guy is beast, man. Araujo,
Mhm.
like head to head, like
His pace is ridiculous as well.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And his acceleration. This guy
Mhm.
can stop Vinicius, and Vinicius running towards him and him being stopped and then just starting to run besides Vinicius, he has the same speed. So you need this guy in the squad. You need this guy in the squad. I don't think he's going to be leaving. I think the guy wants to stay. And of course, there are rumors about offers, etc. Look, Araujo is a player for the future. They gave him the third captain. He's been wearing it for many games because of Sergio Roberto on the bench injured and Ter Stegen injured. You know, but what is true, if he says that the project hasn't really been coming to life, man, look at the defense. Look at the defense. Barcelona's defense has been a disaster this season, and he's in the defense.
It's the worst I've seen. Even like
And it,
Omtiti and Lenglet wasn't this bad.
yeah, and he is in the defense. So start thinking about improving yourself and improving the teammates that you have around you. Because if you're the third captain, then you're the leader of the defense. Or who's going to be the leader of the defense? Cancelo, Kunde, Christensen, Inigo Martinez will just arrive. Kubarsi, 16-year-old? No. He is the one in the leader of the defense. So just man up, my friend. Start playing like you know how to play. And of course, I understand it's a problem of the coach because the whole team is underperforming, and we have tremendous quality in the team. Saying that it's the players, of course, there's a part of the players. The players are not motivated. They're not inspired. They don't believe in the coach. If they did believe in the coach, they would run like crazy maniacs every single time towards the ball because they believe.
We saw that last season. Remember the clip against Betis at the Benito Villamarin when the whole entire squad is running back? That's a team that cares.
Exactly. But certainly they lost the faith on the project. Of course, they lost the faith, but they lost the faith on Xavi's project. And I think Laporta has been doing quite well, getting with no money.
I've been
Joao's getting Íñigo Martinez, one of the best defenders in the world, and in Spain, certainly one of the best center defenders in the world. You're getting Oriol Romeo. What can you get? There's no.
Remember Oriol Romeo preseason. We're all looking his balls thinking he's the best. It was the next.
Last season he was good. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So to me, Mateo Alemán, Laporta, they did fucking great. They had no money. Look what they brought. They brought amazing. Iqbal Gundogan, the captain. He was lifting the Champions League.
I've been saying the only thing Laporta did wrong since coming as the president in 2021 was give Alonso a renewal. That's the only thing. Because again, we signed Alonso because Xavi would not shut up about him. Oh, I want Alonso and Azpilicueta. Oh, we can't get Azpilicueta. Okay, please, Alonso. I want the free kicks, the aerial duels, all this stuff. I think renewing him, giving him the extra another contract was a mistake. That is the only thing. And his 3 years of pure hell and everyone, the media and La Liga being against him, that he did wrong. He's done an unbelievable job, but now with Xavi leaving, the pressure's coming in. He's now bringing in Deco, who everyone's saying, oh, he has no experience, another friend being appointed. I say, you have to wait for them to execute. You can't say Deco coming in now. He only came in August. Remember, the summer was still Alemán, even though Deco came in, helped with Victor Roque a little bit. But Deco's just come in. He's been in the job, 4 or 5 months? Everyone's saying that he's shit because he lost some Swedish guy to Tottenham. It's all...
But the Swedish guy, he only cared about the money, man. Forget this guy.
Forget him.
But La Masia is the biggest factory in the world for midfielders. We care about this Swedish guy? Come on.
It's ridiculous.
We're gonna have 10 midfielders better than this guy in the next 3-4 years. Man.
You have Fermin Lopez, who's not even getting any minutes, but you want to go sign this Swedish guy, spend 10-12 million on him?
Look at Take Kubo, killing it with Real Sociedad from La Masia. Look at this guy, Xavi Simons, killing it.
Dani
Olmo. And we create midfielders. No, every day there's a midfielder coming up from La Masia, man. We're gonna spend the money on Arda Güler. Man, to be honest, I think that Barca is even playing the faking, is faking this kind of signing for other teams to pay more money, man.
That'd be funny.
Because it's a joke. How are you gonna sign Arda Güler and this Bergval guy when you have 100 guys in La Masia coming up that they're incredible as a midfielders? Barcelona we've not been good creating center forwards, central defenders, for example. Goalkeepers never been too good. But man, midfielders, it's our speciality.
Center backs, to be fair, we've done well recently. You have Kubarsi, you had Mingueza, who was very overhyped when he came through as well. I think where we lack a lot in La Masia is strikers and fullbacks and goalkeepers, kind of like the outside.
Yeah. I mean,
but with Araujo, just to end off on him, I think my only doubt about him was that when Tuchel called him to convince him to join, he talked to him. Because because I'm a fan, it's different for me. But if I'm the third captain of Barcelona, one of the most important players of the team, and another manager from a team that's, big team, but not doing, it's not Man City, it's not Pep. And he calls me, and apparently the sources told me that he answered out of respect. I said, that's where I got a bit worried. A little bit of doubt for me is that he talked to Tuchel. Whether the phone call was 1 minute, 10 minutes, 1 hour, that's for me is where I was like.
They say he talked to Tuchel. They say. Can't verify. By the way, going to Bayern Munich is a downgrade.
It is a downgrade. Right now, yes.
No, but even if Bayern Munich was winning the Champions League, you're just not playing El Clasico, for example. You're in one of the biggest teams in the world, fully recognized as it is. course, Bayern Munich is certainly somewhere near the level, but not exactly at that level. And you're the third captain of the team, my friend. You want to go to Munich? Look what happened to Harry Kane. Example. But anyways,
there's so many examples. I think every player who was at least at a good level or at the peak of their powers that left Barcelona, they all went and didn't do well. Look at all the examples the past 10 years.
Of course, and look at Moriba.
Yeah,
Look at Moriba. He's so good, and with Koeman, with Barca, so good. He leaves, disaster. And for signings, to my honest opinion, Barcelona should start thinking about players we have loaned out. Ansu Fati's, for example.
Julian Araujo.
Julian Araujo's. We have no money, man. Start thinking about these people, man. Start thinking about recovering these people and trying to get them to improve. Ansu Fati, man, he was a beast. He'll eventually one day recover, and slowly he's recovering. Man. It's mental, man. It's mental.
It's so I can't fathom the wingers that we get linked with when we have Ansu Fati. I guess I have a lot of stocks invested in Ansu Fati, and I get that he's very injury prone, but we've seen the talent that he was. Remember what he was doing in 2019, 2020. He was doing, I think Ansu Fati then was bigger than Lamine Yamal now. I think Lamine Yamal is a better talent, but Ansu Fati then was blowing our minds. It was crazy.
Yeah.
But I want to end off with one question for you, and I think it's clear between you and I that we do need to sell someone this summer. I would say someone over 50 million, like Dembele last summer. Who would be the player that you would say you would want to sell to make money and that you'd be, okay with their exit? Is there someone that you would look to?
I mean, Christensen, but I don't know if you can sell the guy for like 50 million. I think Christensen is a guy that you can get rid of. In terms of financial fair play, it's going to be amazing because you paid zero for the guy. Okay, it's not the same. You sell Frenkie de Jong. Careful, this guy has a crazy contract. The financial fair play is not going to be the same. People think, we sell him for 100 million. It's 100 million in our pocket. No. There's the amortizations, everything. But instead, Christensen, you signed him for free.
I agree too, especially with Gobarsi coming through. You have Eric Garcia coming back from loan as well. I think Christensen is a brilliant defender. I think his time at Barcelona was great. But if Newcastle or any Premier League club give me like 60, 70 million for him, I would definitely take it. I don't think he's someone who's
signed tomorrow, 60, 70 million. Bro, immediate.
That's the price.
Signing.
That's the price that Barcelona want, and this is the price that they want to pay. And I think, like you said, he's free, straight into financial fair play margin. What are your thoughts on Rafinha? Would you sell him if a good offer comes in?
You have to pay. There's still the amortizations. We paid some money for the guy. I think Rafinha has been providing some good value. This season hasn't been scoring too much. I think maybe 3-4 goals, but more assists. I think that
I think his numbers are good. Just him in the final third, his output.
Is not been scoring that much. You know, when this guy in the Premier League was scoring a lot of goals, but eventually he has it. He smells the goal. He has goals. Just maybe not the perfect scenario for him, like the Xavi style of play, etc. And Barcelona, the teams that play against Barcelona always close down in defense, very little spaces. And Rafinha is not a crazy dribbler. He's a dribbler. But look at Lamine Yamal. This guy plays with people because Lamine Yamal's waist is like my arm. He's so tiny. The guy is so tiny. He's super flexible. That's why he's doing woo, 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 woo. He's dribbling people. And because he's playing against 25, 26, 27-year-old defenders who are bigger, tougher, and have less flexibility, less acceleration. Instead, Lamine Yamal is just a little kid, He weighs maybe, 50 kilos.
Maybe less.
Flexible. Maybe less, That's why this guy is doing all this shit. And Rafinha is unfortunately it's a bigger guy, stronger guy, And it's a bit different. And Rafinha was playing more of a center forward in the Premier League. I can't remember.
No, he was more on like the right middle. So when
so it wasn't really a pure winger,
No.
Like Lamine Yamal is a pure winger. Dembele was a pure winger. This guy is not a pure winger. It's like you want to put Coutinho in the wing. Coutinho was a fucking midfielder, offensive midfielder.
Yeah,
but that's what killed Coutinho. Coutinho was an amazing player.
Remember the first 6 months? Where was he
In 6
playing?
months, he was a killer.
He was in
He was a
midfield.
killer.
That's why.
You play him in the wing, you
He's
destroy
gonna be
his
shit.
career.
Yeah.
Of course, he's going to be shit. But no, he destroyed his career because mentally you destroyed the guy. Mentally you destroyed the guy.
Yeah.
And look at what happened now. Nowhere near to be seen.
Thanks to Steven Gerrard though for buying him for 30 million. Finally though, give me your. I want to just know your answer on this. Give it to me like 20 seconds, 30 seconds. Joao Felix, what would you do with him this summer?
I mean, it depends on. I would negotiate with Atletico, see if we can get him for cheap.
Okay, would you spend money? Would you spend money on him? Would you spend money?
I mean, what is they ask for 80 million? Absolutely no. If they ask for 20 million, then yeah.
You would spend 20 million on Felix?
Yeah, I would spend 20 million on Felix.
I don't know, man.
Of course,
I don't know.
Because it's just the resale value is already like 50, 60 million.
Yeah, but if the resale value won't be that high because no one really wants him.
He has a long contract with Atletico Madrid.
He signed a new one before he came to us as well.
Exactly. So most probable, if we can get him next season, it'll be on a loan.
No, yeah.
And Cancelo is somebody I would fight for because
100%.
Even though his defense skills are shit and he doesn't defend at all, he's just attacking. Reason why he was kicked out from Bayern Munich, City, everything, because his defense is nowhere to be seen. But I think that if you train the guy a little bit, maybe we can improve. And if you play a 3-man defense with Cancelo being the fourth, but Cancelo being attacking, then maybe you can do it. But you have Balde on the other side, which is exactly the same. Which one do you want to do, Cancelo or Balde? Because if you do both,
too exposed.
Too exposed. You know?
I would say this Cancelo is one of the best fullbacks at the world. He's a very unique player that, like Dembele, can play on both sides at a very, very high level. And it's 15, 20 million. I think it's a no-brainer. But we'll see what the club do. Again, we are not even at the international break in March yet. We're in February talking about transfers, and the season's not even over yet. So this is the life of Barcelona. You know, usually we do these streams end of March, beginning of April, and now middle of February we're doing this. So it's unbelievable. We'll see how things turn out. I think overall we both back Laporta and hope that Deco does perform at the expectation that we expect for the level of Barcelona, and we'll see how things turn out. I want to thank you though for coming on the stream, giving us your opinion and thoughts. Always good to hear from you. And if you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you drop a like down below and subscribe as well. Check out Blog on Our Planet as well. His link is in the title. You can just click on the handle and take you to his channel. And we'll see you guys next time on the channel. As always though, Visca Barça siempre.